Trust Once Lost. Chapter 11. Best Policy.
I'm not angry, Sugar Cube.
Applejack's muffled voice tried to comfort me through the bedclothes I'd wrapped myself in.
It wasn't your fault. There's no need to be scared.
Just kill me now. Save me from this embarrassment.
I could hear the hurt in Applejack's voice, and I knew that she'd feel just terrible if she thought she'd frightened me. No matter how much my embarrassment wanted me to scream at every pony to leave me alone, I knew I had to pretend to let Applejack comfort me, so she could make up for what she saw as her mistake. I poked my muzzle out of the blankets. The cooler air was refreshing, but I could still smell the cloying odor of my sick hanging in the room. I could smell Applejack too, and no, she didn't smell like apples. She smelled of rich earth with a hint of healthy sweat, scents that were quite distinct from what I was used to in the hospital. I slipped my head out of the blankets, my pony ears springing up to attention as they were freed from the blankets.
It's alright, Applejack.
I said.
Don't worry about me. I was just being stupid. I'm not scared. Oh, darling, I know you're just trying to be brave, but there ain't no need to candy coat the truth.
The coat on Applejack's forelegs were damp, no doubt from washing off my puke. Right, she could tell when I was lying. I swallowed nervously.
I'm not afraid of you.
I clarified.
I'm just a very anxious pony.
Applejack raised the hoof to her chest, and a distraught expression crossed her face.
Damn it, why can't I stop lying? You're afraid of... me?
The hurt in her voice cut me deep.
Not because I think you'll hurt me.
I blurted out.
I'm scared because because you're the element of honesty, and you can tell when something is the truth, and I don't want Pony to know things.
I probably shouldn't have said that.
I know telling the truth can hurt sometimes, but you'll feel much better if you just come out with it.
Applejack lectured.
Every pony here is trying to help you. They won't think worse of you. No matter what your secret is, they'll help you. It's not something I need help with.
I explained.
It's something... I
huffed in frustration.
Being the elements of honesty doesn't give me any special power, Sugar Cube. Y'all just ain't that good at fibbing.
Applejack said.
Besides which, we return the elements to the Tree of Harmony. I'm not here to interrogate you. You're not?
Applejack turned to Dayglow, and the fluorescent mare sighed.
I'm so sorry, Green. I shouldn't have sprung it onto you like this.
Dayglow apologized.
I was talking with Applejack about potentially taking you in as a foster child, and I thought I'd introduce you two to ease you into the idea.
Dayglow looked miserable too.
I just spread misery wherever I go, don't I? I didn't realize you would recognize her, or that you would react so strongly.
Dayglow explained.
I want you to get placed in a stable environment as soon as possible, but I'd never place you with some pony you felt uncomfortable with. Foster care?
I hadn't considered that. I'd assumed I'd be going to an orphanage. I didn't want to take up a foster care spot that was meant for some poor foal that actually needed it.
I don't want to go into foster care. I'll be fine in an orphanage, or whatever. I know it can be scary going with some pony you don't know. It's not that!
I interrupted.
I don't need it. Isn't there a waiting list? Isn't there some pony else that needs it more? Damn it, I'm screwing this up!
I looked over at Applejack.
Green, look at me.
Dayglow lifted my chin, so I was looking into her eyes.
You're just as important as any pony else. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have a family that loves you and cares for you. What if I don't want a family? What do you want?
Asked Dayglow.
If you could have anything, what would you ask for? I just want a safe place to sleep, with food provided, and a small stipend to cover expenses until I'm old enough to get a job.
I chose my words carefully.
If I have to share a bunk room with a few other ponies, that's fine, I suppose. But I'd prefer to be alone. And once I'm working, I can pay back the money.
I sighed.
Look, I get it.
I preempted the response.
You're not gonna give me what I want. You're gonna do whatever you think is best for me. But you asked.
Huh, said Dayglow. That's not what I expected you to say.
What was I supposed to say?
Well, most fillies your age would want to be a princess. Or to have 1,000,000 bits.
Being a princess looks like a lot of work. And taking 1,000,000 bits that's gonna help orphans seems kinda evil.
That's a very practical way to look at things, said Dayglow. It's a bit bleak, though, don't you think?
Happiness isn't achieved by having things handed to you.
I countered, quickly converting an Earth saying into pony speak.
A beggar could be the happiest pony in Equestria, while a prince who has wanted for nothing may live in misery.
Are you happy, Green?
Yes.
You don't seem happy. You seem miserable. You're anxious around other ponies. You're having panic attacks. You don't trust any pony enough to speak with them honestly. And from what I've read, since you've come to us, you've spent most of your time either sleeping or crying.
This situation is very stressful for me. But I'm generally a happy pony.
I'm no Pinkie Pie, but I know a thing or two about making ponies happy, Dayglow said lightly. For some pony to be happy, they need to feel safe. Not just physically safe, emotionally safe. Have you ever felt safe, Green? Have you had some pony you could trust with everything?
I could feel my mother's cold fingers. Poor circulation from her weak heart. I grasped them tightly in my small hands. Stay with me, Mom. I'm right here with you. Breathe. You're going to get through this. She shook and kept asking me if it was all right. I told her it was, and I kicked myself for even thinking about telling her the other kids were being mean to me at school. I could imagine what Dad would do if I told him. He'd march down to the school and sort out the situation, regardless of how I'd beg him not to.
I thought about all the ways I could answer the question without another question. What is trust? Is it just being able to predict how someone will respond? With Applejack in the room, I figured it was best just to get it over with.
No,
I said, truthfully.
I guess I never have.
They said the title. They said, the trust's not there once lost. Okay, sorry. So many things that could happen. Either Redheart adopts them or they just stay in the hospital for however long. Who knows?
Now let's get on to our sugar cubes of donators. Top donators are 630, BadassWaffle, Onlyonething, Ceru, Orion, and IronSky. Darkside, Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel Skies, Austin Rollins, 2hex, Sword Brother, Mordred, Omicron, Lyra, Runesap 9052, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Raz, Soul, Shadow Moon, Luigi 88, Chancer Crust, Big Smoke 369, Jesse Smith, Bobcat GGF, and many more amazing people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.